Rusty McGibbon with the owner and founder of the New England Sports Complex, Larue, Renfroe. Larue, thank you so much for hosting us.
This is a ball.
Just an incredible facility here. And I think when you kind of delve into your story a little bit, someone from the southeastern United States to come and have a huge 10-pad facility here, it's pretty incredible. Walk me just through a little bit about your son and how you got started in your involvement in hockey.
Well, I moved up here. I moved out here from California. I grew up in New Orleans, and so I didn't know much about hockey. In fact, I didn't know anything about hockey. And when my son was 7, and I have 4 children. My son was 7. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which means his body didn't produce any insulin. So there had to be a way to regulate that insulin. And the doctor told me and my wife if he wanted to have a normal life, that he would have to be very, very active. And he suggested that we get into sports. So we looked around, and of course hockey was really big back then. Bobby Orr, everything.
Yeah.
And so we said, that looks like a very active sport. So we tried them out at 7, and we didn't know the first thing about hockey. It was embarrassing. But we went out and we tried out, we made the team, and so I watched for the first year, then I got involved as an assistant coach, and then I finally ended up coaching, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me kind of a bit, about the formation, planning and building of this rink, and then how it's kind of expanded now to be a 10-sheet facility.
Yeah. Well, we go back to my son again. We got involved with travel hockey, and after a couple of years, and ended up running a program. One of the programs, it was a one-team program that we took over from another travel team that was aging out. So we added another team and another team. We're up to just under 50 teams now, and it's one of the better leagues in the area. In fact, considered to be the best in the Northeast. And so that meant we had to go find ice. And when we were about 12 or 13 teams, the main rink that we were using decided to go all figure skating. The problem is they didn't decide until after we had tryouts.
Right,
so
yeah.
Here I am with 13 teams and no place to practice and no place to play. So I said, well, I gotta fix this. So we found a way to get enough ice that first year and the second year, but I decided then, I'm going to have to build a rink. And I started with, I'll build 1 sheet, maybe I'll build 2. And we were running our own tournaments at the time, small tournaments.
Yeah.
But it became pretty obvious that if I could afford it and we could build it, it should be a 4-sheet rink. And we located it here in Marlboro because Marlboro is such a progressive city, and they're so into helping businesses. And businesses therefore help the city of Marlboro.
Yeah.
It's an amazing relationship.
It must have been an incredible leap of faith, though. I mean, someone that's from Ontario, which, is also a hockey hotbed, you don't see a lot of facilities with 4 pads. I mean, right. That's big.
Yeah. I took my teams every year for 30 some odd years to Ottawa.
Yeah.
In the summer for the Capital Day tournament there. It's pretty amazing tournament back in those days. It's not so much these days, but boy, it was the best tournament around. Yeah. Best summer tournament around. And we take our teams there every year, and we played in 9 different rinks across Ottawa and Canada and all around there. And they were really nice rinks. Some not so nice, but some old but still in really good shape. Some relatively new. And because I was involved in hockey so deeply, I got to go into, coach in hundreds of rinks, probably several hundred. And I'm an engineer, so I know this architecture. How did they do this? Why did they do that? So when I decided to build a rink, I decided, well, okay, I'm going to do this right. So I sat down and I actually drew out this rink, the 4-sheet rink, and got a contractor to build it for me. And I was actually, my company, which is an electronics company, was actually okay. You're at the other end. Okay, good.
It's good to see him here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of my hockey players from last year.
Oh, very good.
Coach at the U18 level.
Yeah.
This kid is unbelievable.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, he's
very
going
good.
to Worcester Academy this year, and he's here looking at.
It's cool.
Enjoying the hockey.
Well, and you know that kind of parlays into something. What opportunity, you know, for someone that's been involved with hockey for, you know, if you do the math, over 40 years.
Yep.
What opportunity do you think, in the grand totem pole of hockey, how does the ACHA fit into this?
Oh wow! You know, I've been involved in youth hockey forever. And what's the most disappointing thing for any player, no matter how far they go up in hockey, whether they're in the NHL or play D1 college, D2, whatever, NCAA, when they get out of high school, they're looking for, okay, now what do I do to continue my love for hockey?
Yeah.
And ACHA fills that need for so many players. I mean, I don't even know the number, but I assume that there are about 600 schools that have ACHA hockey teams.
So I think pre-COVID we were up to 530. I know from a player count, between 12 and 13,000 student athletes involved.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, players get to the point where, okay, now, and they might be a little on the small side, they might be a little on the slow side relative to NHL standards or Division I standards. But I'm seeing some amazing hockey out here. You know, this Liberty team, for instance, it's amazing. And I've seen some other games like that with, you know, Adrian and some of these other teams. They're just unbelievable. They're an NCAA level hockey.
You know, for someone like yourself that kind of, you know, out of high school went the education route, higher education route, do you think that this is the perfect marriage between something that players love, which is hockey, and something the players need, which is education?
Yes, definitely, because their focus is going to be education.
Yeah.
And they do hockey because they love it. And it, you know, there have been studies, of course, and I'm sure you know this better than I do in your background. But you know, an athlete in season is a better student than an athlete out of season because they focus.
Yeah.
They're regimented. They have to do certain things to get all of it done. And that gives them the structure that makes them a much better student, and therefore they get better grades. And I'm comparing that to a student that's not an athlete.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they probably suffer from that. They don't achieve the same level.
You were telling me about the number of tournaments that you're able to host over the course of the year, and probably just from the length and number of teams, this may be the actual biggest one that you host this year.
It's
up there.
Definitely is the biggest.
Yeah. What are the financial ramifications for Marlborough with the ACHA coming here?
ACHA is probably providing $2 million worth of revenue or more to the businesses in the Marlborough area, between the hotels and guests and
buses,
yeah, and feeding all of these many people. All the restaurants are doing great, and you know, the local businesses get our schedule. And they actually staff up. Yeah. For these kinds of.
Sounds like they do their scouting too.
Yeah, we do about. That's the nice thing about Marlborough. Marlborough has the organization called the Marlborough Economic Development Program.
Right.
It's a nonprofit organization that helps businesses help Marlborough.
Okay.
And they are instrumental in helping us set up the hotels, compete with other other venues that are doing other things like pro golf. It's amazing what they do to help us.
Yep.
And my estimate is that over the year we do about somewhere between 30 and 40 events, and maybe 12 of those approach the size of the ACHA Nationals. But ACHA Nationals is definitely the largest.
Good.
And,
well, what you've provided for us,
let
me
give you the punchline.
Yeah, please.
$25 million a year. This facility creates about $25 million worth of revenue.
Fantastic.
And if you think about that in terms of what you think you're creating, you're doing 10% of that.
Yeah.
Over one weekend.
And I will tell you, last year, and where I was going to kind of go, last year, just due to only having 3 sheets in one building, some of the preliminary had to be done off-site. Okay, they figured last year in St. Louis between 6 and 8 million in input. So, but anyway,
I'm just guessing.
No, that's good. No, that's good. And
I haven't really.
As you probably know,
if it were that much, and we will be higher if they figure that out and really know what they're talking about. We're higher than that.
Right.
So I'll get that feedback from MEDC.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you for being a gracious host. And
we want you guys back.
It's awesome for us to have all five going at one time under one roof. And the concourse here, the mezzanine, just the excitement and the experience is palpable. So thank you so much for having us. Larue, a pleasure to get to know you.
Yeah, thank you.